You know, if Will Levis is a top quarterback in this draft. In fact, I really don't know about any of these quarterbacks. I think Bryce Young's a little bit too small. You go look at a picture of him and Kyler next to each other. They're about the same size person. That's really small. That's really small. C.J. Stroud's good, but I have some worries about, his ability to actually excel as a passer. But especially with Levis. There's a lot of banter of, oh, he's Josh Allen, and he's got Herbert's size in his arm, and okay, that's great. Let's relax. Let's find a more reasonable comp, right? And you hear, oh, but he's got the mental aspect. Okay. Pause. I remember, and I don't know why this name sticks in my head, but I remember it, probably because there was so much hype coming out of UCLA, Josh Rosen. I was told that Josh Rosen has the brain of Tom Brady, prime Matt Ryan deep ball, and like Jay Cutler zing to it. He was downright awful. He sucks so bad, okay? Josh Rosen was terrible. Now, granted, I sit here, on my throne, per se, saying that he sucks. He's about 700 times better of a quarterback than I am. But compared to the NFL level, he was downright bad.
Yeah.
As Stephen A. Smith said, the man's a bona fide scrub. He cannot play the game of insert football as opposed to basketball. Anyway. So I like Levis. I think he's going to be a little bit better than Rosen because I think he's got a little bit more it. He can run the football a little bit better. I think he's got a bigger upside, bigger arm talent. But I think it's so reliant upon where he lands. Right? And that was so true of Rosen. Rosen landed with the struggling Cardinals with Steve Wilkes as the head coach, who got fired after that season. And they moved off both the coach and the quarterback, went to Cliff and Kyler, and then look what happened, right? So it wasn't a good situation to be in. So that's the name that keeps popping back into my head when I think of Will Levis. Will Levis, Josh Rosen. I don't know why that's the name. So Levis is in the SEC, which means that's probably the most NFL-ready conference, I would say. Let's look at just his SEC games from his best season. 2021 was his best season. Let's go basically his NFL-style football games, his SEC games. Let's go look at his stats. So, 8 games, 65% completion percentage. Not bad, actually. 13 touchdowns, 8 picks. A lot more picks than I would like. In 8 games, 8 picks, a lot of picks. 175 yards per game. And that's not very good. It's not very good. Less than 200 yards per game, 13 touchdowns, 8 picks. It almost reminds me a little bit of like a Daniel Jones, who even in college with a really good head coach, a really good quarterback whisperer head coach, only completed like 56% of his throws. Let's go look at Josh Rosen in his best season against his 8 best opponents. 61% completion, so slightly less accurate, but has a little bit more production. He's going to have 324 yards per game, 16 touchdowns, 7 picks. It's kind of the same guy. You're getting about a pick a game. Rosen throws a couple more touchdowns. Again, you're going to get about a pick a game. Neither are wildly accurate, but neither are crazy inaccurate. But Rosen was more productive. It's just interesting because there's a lot of hype around these guys. But the frame and, they have it between the ears. But where's the actual in college? Where's the wins? Where's the big time production? Where's the big time bowl game success? I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't know. But you like Levis. Give me your argument for Levis because I don't see it.
One, just the size alone, he has what it takes to at least be handed the keys for a season, I think.
I think that's fair.
I think he's at least going to get his shot. And it does remind me, yes, Josh Allen's stats in college were worlds better. But he was still risky with the football when he was younger. He still made a lot of mistakes, even year 1, year 2 in Buffalo.
Oh, 100%.
It took him a while to get going. The measurables are there for Will Levis. And I think that's the one thing that helps him stand apart from the rest of the quarterbacks, at least in his class. Because like you said, they are all undersized.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest thing. Look,
Will's not undersized, but the other two.
Right. My position on Will Levis has always been very realistic. I think he has a high ceiling. I think he could pop. I think he has everything there that he needs to be able to be a great quarterback. He has the size of Josh Allen. He moves like Josh Allen. and he has a cannon arm. You remember that video that went viral on,
Yeah,
what was it,
throwing
TikTok?
throwing in shorts and a t-shirt. I don't want to hear it.
Either way.
I know what you're talking about.
Either way.
It's a good arm. It's a good arm.
He has a cannon arm. Yeah, he was risky in college. He made a lot of mistakes. But I think playing in the SEC does say something to that. You're throwing against a lot better defenses than a lot of these guys were.
It's fair.
So I think there's an argument to be made that he can succeed and do well in the NFL. I'm not sure what percentage likelihood that is. I'd lean towards he's going to be more successful than he is not. But I mean, I'm trying to stay super realistic here because, I mean, at the end of the day, he didn't like put up crazy numbers. They didn't go.
Right.
They didn't go to like a big name bowl game. They didn't really compete through the SEC.
Here's what concerns me. He was in a situation that's going to be very realistic to what an NFL situation would be in, right? His first year, 2021, in Kentucky, had a pretty good offensive line, was able to kind of sit back, throw a little bit, had better stats. Offensive line wasn't as good in the second year.
Well, a big part of it is where he lands.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you're not going to get a perfect offensive line. He had one good receiver, okay? So what? You're going to get drafted by the Colts. You have Michael Pittman and a bad offensive line. Welcome to Kentucky 2022, right? It's the same situation, and you got to do what you got to do, right? And then a loaded AFC and a loaded SEC, right? So it's like it's so realistic to what the actual real life NFL is. The NFL isn't Patrick Mahomes. Hey, come in, sit for a year behind the best mentor, and then we'll hand you Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid. Like that's not the NFL.
It could happen every now and then.
Yeah, it could. But reality, most of the time, it's hey, here's Michael Pittman, a rookie head coach. Hopefully it works. A bad offensive line and an aging, expensive defense.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can win us some games. Impatient owner, by the way, too.
Same thing in New York.
So
he could land himself on the Giants, possibly, if they're going for a rebuild.
I don't think Giants.
Now the Saints would be something for him, probably. Could see
Maybe. I don't think he'll drop that far. It's going to be he's going to be a top like 5 or 6 pick, probably.
I don't know.
We say that all the time, though. There's always one player that drops. Maybe it's a Levis.
Maybe.
There's so much time before the draft. We start hearing rumors and more,
I'm excited for the mock drafts and everything to come out.
Very excited.
This is going to be a good one.
Very excited. All right, well, that's all we got for Will Levis right there. Let's